When you want to celebrate something and give thanks for something, you don't do it on your own. You find yourself actually longing to gather with friends or family to celebrate, to share your good news, to remember what has happened and for them to celebrate with you. Thankfulness is a time when we look back in remembrance that something has happened in order that we might look forward with confidence. Thankfulness is part of our spiritual journey. It's rooted in the story of ancient Israel and the early church, indeed our own story. In ancient Israel, thankfulness was encouraged by remembering what God had done for them, that he was the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, their forefathers of faith, and that he was the God who rescued them from Egypt, slavery from Egypt, through the Red Sea and into the Promised Land, a land flowing with milk and honey. This was the mantra, in a sense, they were to use as thankfulness. The early church picked it up as well when Jesus said to the disciples at the Last Supper, "Do this in remembrance of me." To take the bread and the wine, and whenever they met together, to do this in remembrance of me. In other words, to give thanks for the work of the cross, the forgiveness that was found there, and the work of the resurrection, the victory over death and the gift of eternal life for all who believe. These are their thankfulness moments that they look back to in remembrance in order to look forward to in confidence. For us at Christ Church, it's the same. We too, much shorter history, obviously, can look back in remembrance that we might look forward in confidence. We can look back and we can see the spiritual growth that has occurred amongst us. We can rejoice in the numerical growth that God has granted to us. And we can be thankful for the physical growth in the sense that of our friends, but the buildings that we have around us that God has given to us. Thankfulness is part of our spiritual journey. It's wonderful that every year we gather to give thanks to God formally. And we do that in our annual meeting. It's next Tuesday, the 27th of April at 8 o'clock. You can be there in the church or you can gather online. It's our chance to look back with remembrance and to look forward in hope. And like all thankful times, they don't work when you do them on your own. We need to gather as the family of Christ Church to celebrate what God has done for us, to look back in remembrance, and then we can look forward in hope for all he has planned for us next year and the year beyond.